Hey, so this is going to be 2-color brioche in the round. You obviously need 2 colors of yarn and a circular needle. I cast on just enough to go around the circular. You'll need an even number of stitches. I cast on with the green, which I'm going to call color A, and I've started the setup row. The setup row is knit 1, slip 1 yarn over. So let's see where I am here. I'll just do this first. Okay, so the setup row is knit 1, and then a slip 1 yarn over. So that's putting the yarn in the front, going into the stitch purlwise, making sure that yarn stays there, and slipping. Now, the yarn does go back to do your knit, but you want to make sure that the yarn is in the front when you're doing your slip-on yarn over. So again, yarn in front, enter the stitch purlwise. I pinch the yarn here, slip off, and then knit. And you can check yourself. You go and pull your stitches apart. You'll see that you have a yarn over that kind of flip-flops over your slipped stitch, and then you have your knit. So slip 1 yarn over, knit, yarn in front, slip, knit, and then your last stitch in the round will be a slip-on yarn over. So yarn in front, slip. Now, because that's the last one in the round and we're not ready to go into that next stitch yet, you do want to make sure you're kind of pinching that and keeping the yarn taut so you still have your yarn over included. Now, the next step is to switch colors. So this is the round 1 after the setup row. I'm calling it round 1 just because that's what the repeat is going to be. So we'll introduce the 70s barf colorway again, the crappy brown and the barfy green. So I'm going to pick up this brown, which I'm going to call color B, and this is technically round 1 with color B, and I am going to do the repeat of slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl. So that's just the slip 1 yarn over that we've been doing, and a brioche purl is basically purl 2 together. So I'm going to hold this brown taut here, and I'm going to bring it in the front, slip, and now it's calling for brioche purl, so I'm going to be purling together the yarn over from the last round and the stitch that we knit. Purl 2 together, and then if you look, I've now got, because we're doing 2 color, I've got the yarn over in the brown, the slipped stitch in the green, and the purl 2 together in the brown. So again, yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, pinch that there, bring the yarn back to the front to do your purl 2 together, purl 2 together. Okay, so, and the purl bump is made with a green, but you've got a brown stitch, got a brown yarn over, green slipped stitch, slip, purl 2 together, yarn in front, slip, purl 2 together, yarn in front, slip, purl 2 together, slip, purl 2 together, slip, purl 2 together. And you'll know know if you get off track if you aren't purling the yarn over with a stitch. So if it looks like you're purling together 2 stitches like these two, then you'll know that you've gotten off track. I might tink back at that point, but you'll want to be purling together a yarn over and the slip stitch. Purl 2 together, slip, purl 2 together, yarn in front, slip, purl 2 together, and then you'll see that you've got kind of a weird pattern. You'll see your slip-on yarn overs are in your color B. You have your purl bumps in your color A with a color B stitch. And then I'm going to finish this round and then come back to introduce color A again. Okay, so I've made it around with color B. Now I'm going to pick up color A again, and this is technically round 2. So I'm going to be doing a repeat of round 1 and round 2 when I'm finished here. So this is round 2. This is with color A, and the pattern is brioche knit and slip-on yarn over. So brioche knit is basically knit 2 together. You just want to make sure you're knitting the yarn over stitch and the slipped stitch from the previous round. So here I am at a purl bump from the previous round. So I'm going to do yarn in front, slip, and then here is the yarn over and the slipped stitch. So I'm going to knit those 2 together. Slip 1, knit 2 together, slip, knit 2 together. And again, my trick that makes it faster for me is I am pinching the yarn when I do my slip one. So I put the yarn in front, I put my needle into the stitch, and instead of concentrating on making a yarn over, all I do is make sure that this yarn stays in the front. So I just pinch my working yarn to my needle and slide off, and then that way when the yarn comes around to the back to do the knit stitch, it's still here on top of the needle. That's all you really want, is to make sure that this yarn stays on top of the needle, and that way when you do your knit 2 together, you've still caught that loop of yarn and made a yarn over. But it allows you to work a lot quicker because you can just hold it, knit 2 together, and you've made your yarn over. You really can get moving once you get the hang of it. I do every once in a while kind of concentrate on what stitches I'm looking at to make sure I'm not off track. If I did get off track, I would try to tink back. If I couldn't do that, then I could do the drop down fix that I did a video on earlier. Slip, 2 together, slip, knit 2 together, just make sure you get that yarn in front for the slipping. Make sure it stays over the needle. So if you let it, don't drop a stitch either, but if you let it go in behind without catching it on the top of the needle, then you won't get your yarn over. So you want in front, and if I pull it off and don't pinch it, it's just going to go in front here, and it's not going to make a yarn over on that needle. So make sure you get it on top of the needle and knit 2 together. And you can start to see it coming out here where this will be the right side if you consider that you want your color A on the right side. See the knit stitches kind of popping out in the front there. If you look at the back, it's not going to be as well developed yet, but that will be the brown. And you just repeat those rounds. So again, it's a setup round, just like always with knit one, slip one yarn over, and then round one is with your color A, and it is slip one yarn over brioche purl. So slip one yarn over, knit, purl two together, and then your round two is with color A again, and you do a brioche knit, just knit two together, slip one yarn over. So you just keep repeating. You're gonna at this point go back to the brown, your color B, and keep going with that. So if you keep it in mind, you're gonna alternate round one and round two. So round one is with color B, round two is with color A, and when you're doing your color B, you're going to be doing your purl two together, and when you're doing your color A, you're going to be doing knit two together. So if you just keep those things in mind, keep a little paper handy by, and keep checking it, and you'll be on your way. This kind of ends our brioche section, and I don't know what else you guys want to have tutorials about. So if you think of anything, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, I'll just make something up and we'll move on to something else. So thanks for watching.